Hey guys, it's Ellen here, and it's Mindy Monday Madness. We're doing an ink and wash winter church tutorial here. I go everything step by step, but if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. I also give you a reference photo, but if you're a Patreon member, you can download the traceable. If you don't know what Patreon is, it's a place where I have ad-free videos, traceables, exclusive tutorials on Thursdays, and live stream once a month on top tier, as well as a download for me. You can check it out in a minute. It's going to pop up in the right hand corner, and check out that. And it's just a place people go and support my channel, which I appreciate. I have a reference photo that goes with this also, so don't fret. You guys can figure this out. And believe me, this is pretty doable for anyone who's beginning watercolor. It's kind of like a paint by number, and then a few extra little details in the end. So without further ado, let's get painting. All right, everyone, I'm going to go over my supplies. I have a 3-inch square of Arch 100% cotton cold pressed paper. I have my Princeton 8 and 4 long round velvet touch series brush, my Sharpie pen I'll be using. The reference photo is included in the description. Remember, hit the word show more. There's a little V underneath that. The whole description box drops down, and underneath the supplies I have the reference photo of the little white church from Canada, I think. But, I took liberty of changing a few things because I'm not, they have those regular trees here. I added some pine trees here in the front, here over here, and I have some, dead winter trees in the back. And I added a wreath and got rid of the window. I was actually thinking of getting rid of the front face vestibule too, but I just kept it, make things easier. So basically you download, do whatever you want to. You can follow it to the T, exactly how it is. You could put a little fence over here. You can do whatever you want. You can put the tree right up. You can put the tree right up in front here if you wanted to do that. You can blow it up, make it smaller, whatever. So this is just an ink and wash again. As you can see, once you have the little church. And of course, if you're a Patreon member, I have the traceable for you there also. So you see I'm just following the picture. So my little trick for if you're printing out something you want to kind of trace a little bit, just the lines, I draw them on top of this, and then I draw them through my, tracing paper. But, if you just want to put it on top of paper and then have graphite paper or anything, trace it, do that. So we're just going to take the Sharpie, and we're going to draw right over my pencil lines that I have here. I think they have the corners coming in a little bit. You can get as detailed as you want. I don't want to get so detailed that I kind of lose the picture. And like I said, I put a little Christmas tree here, so I'm just kind of I'm just kind of wiggling the ink. Now normally I would kind of tape this stuff down, but I'm not doing it today. So just make a little Christmas tree. I'll just kind of make these little marks, you see? Sound effects. And then you just do lines down. So you're just kind of tracing over all those little fun lines with the Sharpie. Now this is the fine point Sharpie, ultra fine point. They make another fine point one that's non-bleed, which I like also. This one's a little bit thicker, which I think is great for the ink and wash, so you can see it. They have tiny little designs in the stained glass window. I'm just going to go like this, like a little V, and then a line down. It's just too detailed for this tiny little thing here. And this little cupola here. They have shutters going across. I'm not drawing that. I'm going to make them like little windows again. Artistic expression. Draw a little cross, and like I said, a little wreath. Artistic liberty. I'm putting a wreath here. Just a circle shape, and then you just kind of wiggle the little lines like that. And then the door is kind of rounded on the top. Now, they don't show snow in this picture, but you create it. So, snow mounds are going to look like this, covering over Then I have a little walkway coming here. They're going to cover over, except where they have the door so you can get in and out. And then, of course, like I said, I had another Christmas tree here. So you see how I'm just making these little lines kind of going in that shape. Now, I drew out for the Patreons on the traceable that you have these like dead trees, but I'm not doing it with the ink. I want to do it with the paint, and I'll show you what I mean. I'm just leaving some white spaces. The tree is in the background. Then I have another tall tree back here. Just kind of like wiggling my pen. See how I do that? And you've got that snowy tree. If you want to get really detailed, you can see how the siding. I would hold it on the side. It's a little bit easier to do this. I'd break it up though. I wouldn't make it like perfect. Do all that little siding detail. And just parallel lines going across. See how I kind of break them up? Boop, 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 boop. And then of course here, they kind of slant downward a little bit because it's on the side. And then you have it on the side of this thing here. Slanting this way and then straight again this way. You don't have to show all of it, but you see how I got all that. So once all your little details are done, I'm going to put a little more details here. Got little side marks here. The roof, I'm not going to add some detail. Voila. I put the pen away. I take this, look at this, I love this eraser. And I erase all my marks. Right now you have like a really cute drawing itself. Get used to drawing more. If you draw more, then you get better at painting. So now we're going to add, I'm just going to add this little roof part here. Looks like it's floating. Oh, and the vestibule part had some siding too. You don't have to draw it, but I'm just putting a little bit of it in there just to kind of match the rest of it. Look at that. Zoom back a little bit so you can see the paint. I don't know if I've actually used the number 4 because I'm used to using the big brush. But actually I will be using the 4 for the branches up on the church. So now that you get this siding, you can leave the church white, or you don't have to leave it white at all. You can make it a color. I'm going to add my green. So I use peacock blue for a bright green. Grab my cadmium yellow deep. My palette's pretty messy. Pay no attention to that. Might add a little Prussian blue to make it darker. And a little bit umber just to take out that brightness. Maybe a little more blue. I want blue green. There we go. It's a deep dark green. If you want a lighter one also to balance it, just take that yellow, grab some of that green, mix it, or even just go grab your peacock blue and you get a lighter green. Now, I could use the 4 for the wreath, so maybe I will grab my 4 instead. So you just grab this pale green first. And I'm just going to fill it in, just like a paint by number. Once you draw it, you just kind of fill it in. So you get this bright green wreath. Take the number 4. And I'm going to just see I'm just tapping some of that green, the bright green around, and I'm going to do the same thing with the dark green. Where we get in the details is making the white church look white by adding some blues and stuff, by not keeping it just white like that. Now I grab the dark green. I'm going to fill this in. See, I like the ink and wash because I feel like it's easy for people to do. Go add some dark green to the wreath. You don't want to keep one flat color. You want to have a couple of colors going there. We get the tree. You can get even darker still. I might just grab some straight up Prussian blue. See? And it just almost looks black, right? But it's actually blue. And mixing with that green, it's much darker. You didn't have to do a church. You could do a house. Take a picture of your house and do the same thing, same technique, with the pen and ink. The door is green. It has that country green. So I would use peacock blue. Mix some of that green with the peacock blue. It's kind of like a little aqua with a touch of brown. Grab some more of that brown. It's like a bluish green. Grab some more peacock. Make sure I got the right color. And I'll do the door. I'll add a little more brown just to make it just a touch darker. Seems like the roof is that color too, but we can make it gray or have some snow on it. So let's mix up some blue grays. I'm going to use my number 8 brush. I have this color called Neutral Tint. It's kind of on the purple gray side, which is perfect. And then ultramarine blue. Watered down. I'll add some of this neutral tint. See, I'm going back and forth with the two colors. Also, I've talked about this many times, have a piece of scrap close by so you can test out your colors. Maybe a little blue in this. Right, and when you water it down, we have, if you want a brighter blue, if you can go up here and add some magenta and ultramarine. Get a nice purple. Listen, don't be afraid to put some color in for like shadows. So I've got the blue here and the purple. Be a nice shadow color, right? And then we have this neutral tint I mixed in with some ultramarine, even darker. You can play around with those colors. I mean, it doesn't have to be that. It's like a periwinkle blue, purple. I don't want blue to this. I'm playing around with the blue I want for the sky. I think I might add some peacock to this. Ultramarine. Let's see what we got. No. See, guys, I like to do real-time tutorials to show you how I think. There's a great color. Let's see if I can find it. Here it is. Verditer blue. I might just play around with this color. I have some tutorials with this color. Now it's beautiful, like periwinkle blue. Now I'm liking this, and I might add some ultramarine to this. Make it a little deeper and brighter. This is for the sky. Maybe a little Prussian blue. Let's see what we got. We want it like a deep purple blue sky. Add a little bit of magenta. Ooh, we're getting there. So, you know, don't have to mix up what I'm doing here. I'm just mixing up my sky, figuring out what I want for colors. Let's play around with this. Gonna water this down a little bit. Put some more water in it. Just want this nice pretty blue sky. Kind of evening, but not super dark. If that makes any sense. I'm adding some gray and some more ultramarine to it. Just filling in the color. And number 8, being careful. going around my church here. Moving the paper around. Zoom back out. Just moving the paper around so I can control it better. So just mix up a nice blue that you like. Obviously I mixed up a ton of different blues. It was that verditer blue with some ultramarine with a tinge of magenta and a tinge of the neutral tint. Play around with your blues, guys. I'm encouraging you to do your own blue. Now see, it's just a flat wash color now, which is kind of nice if you wanted to bleed in some deeper color. I got some ultramarine again, verditer blue, all those colors we talked about. Mixing and making it a little bit darker. Maybe you can make it a little darker in some areas. Don't want it too dark because we're going to do a darker color with the tree. See how sneaky I am? I just put it right down here. I just tapped that darker color right down the bottom there. All right, for the snow, we can kind of play around with using those colors. Maybe add a little more verditer blue. Wash it down, water it down. Okay. I always have a paper towel close by to tap off the excess water. And we're just going to go here and we're just going to put that blue on the edge. See that? Zoom in. Excuse me if my fingers are all painted. See how I'm just going to kind of grab the color here. Just put it here. Not everywhere. And we can put some of that on the roof. This pale color. I know, it's blue on blue on blue, but there's a method to my madness. And then I've grabbed some neutral tint. You know, I had that neutral tint mixed with the ultramarine. So I wanted more of the blue-gray kind of tones. Putting some of that under here and on the side of the building. And back here, that vestibule is making a shadow. A little more gray. Oops, that's a little too much. Got to remove it off my brush. You can make it a little bit darker over here. A little under here. I want to still kind of keep it. Put some over in here. Listen, you don't have to follow. You can keep it all white if you want to. This is what I'm doing. And putting the color here on the side too. See? And then again, a little under here. And of course the top vestibule part. That gray tone, mostly darker on that one side and a little bit on the side. And then of course the steeple, grab some of that neutral tint, a little bit of ultramarine blue. We're going to make it more on that deep blue gray. And then some of the undersides of this. Isn't that cute? Now, mix up some cadmium yellow deep. Like a yellow orange, maybe bright yellow. Touch of magenta, teeny bit. Teeny bit. No, see? Kind of yellow orange. I mean, the cadmium yellow deep is kind of yellow orange as it is. And I'm going to water that down, and they're going to be in the windows. Like people in church at night. Okay. And the windows up here. It's lit up. I do want to put a little shadow. If you have to use a number 4, go ahead and use number 4. Brush, little gray shadow inside the wreath here and behind it on the side. See? Over here on the side. And then the siding itself, I might add a tinge of burnt umber to this green, this gray. I'm gonna fill this in a little bit right here. This awning siding. We're getting there, guys. I know it's supposed to be white church. We're taking it, gonna add a little more gray here. And back here. Especially because the tree, oh, you know, I really noticed there's a second window and I didn't put the yellow there. That's okay. I can add it there. Make the siding a little bit darker. When you have this tiny brush, it's much easier to control. There we go. If you want to put some little brown spray grasses kind of coming out of that snow, you can do that. And then have a little brown, gray for the walkway that I put here. Just like that. Now if this is dry, I'll put a little shadow from the vestibule thingy on top. Not vestibule, excuse me, the cupola. This is the vestibule, that's the cupola. Oh my goodness. So it's again with that bluish gray, kind of giving a shadow. Add a little more blue. I feel like this got too light. Make that a little bit darker. All right, then for the trees, so this is should be dry. We're gonna try and take those blues again. So I got the ultramarine blue, verditer blue, neutral tint, combination. I want to make it pretty, not ugly. So I use verditer blue, ultramarine blue, and some of that neutral tint. I'll test out my blue color. All right, it's dark enough. So then we're gonna make some nice pretty trees with the number 4. Remember, get them really skinny branches on the ends. I wanted to keep it in the blue. Actually, it's a little bit darker than I want. I want it to be like this faint blue. Hopefully it dries later. You want the branches to be teeny tiny. If you can. So I took up some of that paint that was dark. See that? So it's a blue tree. A little bit darker than the first color we stuck down. So it's this background, pale tree. All the little skinny branches. That's the fun part. It's very therapeutic. So this one might be a little bit darker, but that's okay. These are little pale trees. Might want to put a little more shadow, but a pale blue on the front. So you know it's a white church, but I want that blue glow. just a little bit. And I can make the darker blue shadow a little bit deeper. I'm standing up to see if I like it. I feel like this roof is a little too light. So I'll go back and add blue gray. Because the roof would never be that light. Making sure it doesn't look silly. And you could add a red bow to your wreath, or just some red dots. So I have some magenta. I always like to mix my red, so magenta with yellow makes a nice bright red. You can add some little red touches. I think I'm going to make the bottom of the windows a little bit more orangey yellow. So it really looks like they're inside the window. So add a little magenta to that yellow. Just changes the window. You can add a hint of the yellow kind of out here as the lighting is hitting it. You know? It's nighttime. And then snow. So white gouache. If you've missed snow on some of the trees and stuff, you just take some white gouache and my full brush, and you can add the snow back in. You know, obviously, you're trying to calculate where it would go when you're painting it, but sometimes it's hard. And you could put some snow on the roof, like here, right? Another little trick you could do, I'm almost going to wrap this up, but tiny little white highlights on the branches on the tree. So on one side of the tree, which is the right side of each little branch, just add a little hint of white. If you wanted to do that, you don't have to do that. And you can add a little snow up here on the roof. Lots of noises going around today. Snow. A little more snow. 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 See, I'm just kind of tapping like snow. If you want to put the little dots for snow, you can go ahead and do that. I mean, it's up to you. It might look pretty. Teeny little dots. I would just do tiny, tiny ones. Or bigger ones. A little bit, can't really see mine. And then it would look really cute. Teeny weeny with the number 4 brush. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. And we have this really cute mini Monday. Try not to put 1,000 things of snow. It's overkill. And not so uniform. See how I've got clusters and stuff going here? And then it doesn't look natural. It looks kind of goofy. But now it's snowing while people are inside church. So there we go, guys. Ink and wash. Mini Monday, winter, church. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to hit the bell notification button. That's that little bell on the side, ding, to know when the tutorials are up. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And yeah, check out my Patreon. I have the traceable for this, but I gave you the reference photo. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. I try and respond. I can't respond to every single one, but I try. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon.